Whenever I talk about Star Wars ships, the question I get asked more than almost any other is why has technology seemingly stagnated within the galaxy? We'll cover that topic on today's lore video. Hey guys, this is Eckhart Slider. Hello and welcome to another video. Before I begin, I want to thank everyone who followed me on Twitter yesterday. I think it was over 200 of you in total. However, I have some bad news. I'm still over 35,000 away from Star Wars Explained. We can't be having that. Link down in the description. Anyway, first of all, I do want to make something clear. There has been technological evolution in the Star Wars universe. I actually covered a lot of this the other day for my video about railguns, but to simplify, there were pretty major advancements in weapon yield and shield strength over the past 10,000 years. And I'll add to that now by saying that ship sizes have dramatically increased, as shown in this timeline I put together, and new technologies have emerged, including interdiction fields, new methods of power generation, and in new canon at least, hyperspace tracking. There's more to this point, but I'll get back to it in a minute. There's no ignoring the similarities between ships which are thousands of years old and the Imperial Navy, which even itself still used the Invincible class Dreadnought, which was over 3,000 years old. In other words, despite some improvements, something has happened. The Essential Atlas, I think, states it well. Technology has advanced at a steady, albeit slow pace over the eons, with dramatic periods of rapid technological progress, almost always forced by conflict, and that last part is very important. But before I get to the lack of wars in Star Wars, let's go back to the very beginning, and in doing so, I will make some assumptions. So, we know various civilizations independently, and I say that with air quotes, developed both blaster and hyperdrive technology. However, we also know that before these civilizations emerged, species like the Rakata had advanced tech of their own. Now, this is somewhat substantiated, but it's my opinion that hyperdrive technology and really the foundations for basic science were mostly developed across the galaxy from discarded, reverse-engineered Rakatan technology, which is why we see a real lack of divergent science, despite the fact that Rakatan contemporaries like the Kwa had, for example, different methods of FTL travel. Their technology was developed on their own. However, because it was lost, Rakatan technology was really what influenced the emerging civilizations. And I think this is true for even isolationist species like the Hapans or the Chiss, because they were building their tech, again, off the same foundation. I attribute this not only to the prevalence of the ancient Rakatans, but also the fact that the Republic was the singular greatest force on the distribution of civilizations in the entire galaxy. The Republic not only explored the galaxy, but also met and traded with civilizations, which were almost always less advanced. So they're sharing this technological base by opening other species up to trade and science. This means that everyone is starting from the same point and researching along the same lines, rather than having collaborative development which was built off differing scientific principles. Everyone is sort of just making the same stuff. But the effect of the Republic was actually far more than that. Where prior ages had seen early hyperspace warlords and tyrants raiding planets and common intersystem conflicts, the Republic offered a degree of stability and introduced complacency. Here's a quote from the Essential Atlas which summarizes the prior 2 points. Over the next several thousand years, the Old Republic reached out to civilizations, and although not all became part of the Republic, the government's existence ensured a semblance of order and allowed a steady flow of technology from the core to the outer rim. The Old Republic introduced unparalleled prosperity and contentment, leading, over time, to complacency. The relative absence of conflict meant that civilizations did not need to find new ways to fight one another or defend themselves. This effect can be corroborated by looking not at periods of technological stagnation, but at periods of change, times which actually sparked major advancements, and those are almost totally tied to either war-mongering governments or major conflicts. One example would be the Unification Wars of 25,000 BBY, which saw the creation of personal shields, planetary defenses, and even battle droids. The Waymansee Storm, taking place 7,000 BBY, saw major advancements in power generation, while other wars, including the Great Sith War of 4,000 BBY, had similar effects. As an interesting side note, the Republic's conflict with the Waymancy Storm brought upon technological change because the Waymancy, in isolation from the rest of the galaxy, was able to develop different, hyper-advanced power generation. But anyway, the Republic stood for tens of thousands of years, and the vast majority of time was peaceful. That takes us to the modern era and the Clone Wars, which saw the two largest armies in galactic history fight in full-scale war. And wouldn't you know it, despite claims of stagnation, this era saw incredible advancements in space warfare especially, allowing for the basics of the Imperial Navy, including its dreadnoughts and superweapons. Massive vessels like the Super Star Destroyer had never been seen in recorded galactic history, and Palpatine himself, after forming the Empire, was also always pushing the limit, with never before seen droid models, ship types, and more, showing that the limiting factor to technological change was not something inherent to the universe, but rather the people who lived there. Unfortunately for the galaxy, the Empire mostly spent their time and resources experimenting. Although some technology had wider practical use, much was discarded or applied only limitedly. What's more, after the Empire fell, the New Republic was generally unwilling to use many of the Empire's discoveries, in particular their super weapons. The later Vong invasion arguably saw the greatest era of advancement in galactic history, as the New Republic and later Galactic Federation of Free Alliances was not only continually adapting to technology never before seen in the galaxy, but later introducing Vong biots to galactic civilization. However, there is a non-political aspect to all of this. Star Wars technology has developed in a unique way. Power generation is incredible, as are some individual technologies like inertial dampeners, hyperdrives, or droids, but long-range communication, true self-improving AI, and certain aspects of computing seem seriously limited in comparison. Undoubtedly, these aspects are holding back the Star Wars galaxy from developing certain technologies which we might expect to see emerge. All that being said, I think technological stagnation is somewhat of a myth, at least in the modern universe. Slow technological improvements can be traced largely to the Republic. As that government fell and factions militarized, we saw the rise of Imperial Star Destroyers, Mon Calamari cruisers, and even dreadnoughts like the Eclipse, which were basically untouchable by any prior technology. This can be tied to an individual with the desire for improvement, Palpatine, and it's clear that the ships of the New Republic, for example, vastly outperform anything from the Clone Wars. Canon has also given us a clear increase in weapon size and sophistication, again due to one faction being determined to destroy the other, while also introducing new tech like hyperspace tracking. Anyway, that's all for this topic, but before I let you go, it's time for the question of the day. Ethan Shorb asks, what differs wild space from the unknown regions? This is an interesting question to me in particular because I love this portion of space, and I've actually covered the difference in a prior video, which to be honest I think is great and deserves more attention. I'll link it up above, but I'll also give you guys a brief overview here. So the definition of wild space and the unknown regions has actually flipped between Legends and canon. In Legends, wild space was space that was minimally explored, but the worlds were recorded. It was the galactic east and generally opened for settling and further exploration. The unknown regions, on the other hand, included mostly worlds which had not been charted and included territory even off the galactic rim. However, canon has changed this, and wild space has been given the more expanded role. The unknown regions now is a discrete area to the west of the galactic core, while wild space is everything beyond the outer rim. Personally, based on the maps of the galaxy that we always see, I do think this makes some sense. But let me know what you think down below, and if you have any questions you'd like to see me tackle, make sure to leave them with the hashtag AskEck. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you guys for the great support. January is looking to be perhaps the greatest month in Eckhart's Ladder history. Anyway, until next time guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon, and may the Force be with you.